MoCA Practice Test 2026 Montreal Cognitive Assessment, Full Course Language Repetition Fluency. Question 1. In the language repetition section, how many points are awarded for repeating a sentence exactly? 0 points. 1 point. 2 points. 3 points. 1 point is awarded for each sentence repeated exactly as stated. Question 2. Which sentence is typically used in the MoCA language repetition task? The cat always hid under the couch when dogs were in the room. I only know that John is the one to help today. The weather is very nice outside today. Please pick up the pencil and the paper. The standard MoCA sentence is I only know that John is the one to help today. Question 3. What is the maximum score for the language repetition subtest? 1, 2, 3, 4. The score is out of 2 points, 1 for each of the 2 sentences. Question 4. In the fluency task, how many words starting with F must a patient say in 1 minute to get a point? 5 or more. 8 or more. 11 or more. 15 or more. A score of 1 point is given if the patient generates 11 words or more in 60 seconds. Question 5. What is a valid exclusion for the MoCA fluency, F-word, task? Proper nouns. Verbs. Adjectives. Nouns. Proper nouns, numbers, and different forms of the same word, example eat, eating, are excluded. Question 6. How long is the patient given for the verbal fluency task? 30 seconds. 60 seconds. 90 seconds. 120 seconds. The time limit for the phonemic fluency task is 60 seconds. Question 7. If a patient says the cat always hid under the couch when dogs were in the room but misses the word always, how many points do they get for that sentence? 0 points. 0.5 points. 1 point. Depends on the examiner. The sentence must be repeated exactly for a point. Question 8. Which cognitive domain is primarily assessed by the language repetition task? Memory. Language/executive function. Visuospatial. Orientation. Repetition specifically tests language and short-term auditory processing. Question 9. In the fluency task, the patient says farm, farmer, farming. How many unique valid words are counted? 1, 2, 3, 0. Words that are variants of the same root, like farm and farmer, are usually not counted as distinct depending on the specific manual version, but different forms are explicitly disallowed. Question 10. True or false, in the MoCA 8.1, the letter for the fluency task is always F. True. False. While variants exist, F is the standard for the classic MoCA. Question 11. What should the examiner do if the patient stops before the 60 seconds are up in the fluency task? End the test. Encourage them by saying keep going. Suggest a word. Mark it as 0. The examiner should encourage the patient to keep trying until the time is up. Question 12. The sentence "the cat always hid under the couch when dogs were in the room" appears in which version? MoCA 7.1. MoCA 8.1. MoCA Basic. MoCA blind. This is the second sentence in the standard MoCA 7.1/8.1 repetition task. Question 13. Which of the following would not be counted in the F fluency task? Flower, France, friend, fast. Proper nouns, like France, are excluded. Question 14. If a patient repeats the first sentence perfectly but fails the second, their score for repetition is 0.1, 2 0.5. 1 point for the first sentence. Question 15. The repetition task evaluates which specific brain area primarily? Occipital lobe, temporal/frontal language areas, cerebellum, basal ganglia. Language areas like Broca's and Wernicke's are involved. Question 16. A score of 0 on the fluency task indicates the patient provided fewer than how many words? 5-8. 11-15. If they provide 10 or fewer, they get 0 points. Question 17. How are the instructions for the fluency task delivered? Verbally, in writing, via a video, using flashcards. Instructions are read aloud by the examiner. Question 18. What is the significance of the letter F in the fluency task? It is the easiest letter. It is a standard phonemic fluency prompt. It stands for frontal. It is the examiner's choice. Phonemic fluency often uses F, A, or S as standard prompts. Question 19. If the patient asks, "Can I say names of people?" the examiner should say yes, no. Only if they start with F. I can't tell you. Proper nouns are specifically excluded in the instructions. Question 20. What is the primary difference between MoCA and MMSE regarding the language section? MMSE is harder. MoCA includes more complex repetition and fluency. MoCA only uses nouns. MMSE uses more sentences. MoCA's language assessment is generally considered more sensitive/complex than the MMSE.